those words out of your mouth again.
Gambling is not your problem.
Has anybody ever told you before of your bad luck?
Most gamblers, when they go to gamble, they go to win.
Those were my mother's dying words.
When we go to gamble, we go to lose. Show me the money.
Get out of here, man.
Show you his money.
Honestly, like, let's just go. Let's go to Vegas.
Look at you back to that, Jerry. I want you to say what you would mean it, brother. Show me the money!
It's the Sports Memery Vegas pregame show.
What's up, you sick son of a bitch?
Good morning.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Guys, week 10 of the NFL season, and once again, there's only one team undefeated heading in. It's going to be an ugly day there in Pittsburgh. We got Cincinnati, 6.5-point dogs. I'm hearing we got some gusts up in the 30, 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah. Here being about 90 miles west of Cincinnati here in Indianapolis, it's been a nasty, rainy morning. It's going to move its way over to Pittsburgh. I'd expect a lot of running in this game. I love James Conner, despite him being on your fantasy team, Marcus, and me going against you. But biased aside, I think James Conner is absolutely going to feast today.
Think he's going to top 4 points?
Yeah, his rushing yards is over 7-8, or the over under for his rushing yards is 78.5. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm hoping for $120 today, but more importantly, I think we're going to have a Steelers cover. We obviously, Pittsburgh had a letdown, but I think this is an easy lock-in at 6.5. Joe Burrow's first game against the Steelers. Hopefully he'll have a Colt McCoy-esque performance.
Yeah, no, I like the line's at 6.5. I like Pittsburgh to cover there. The over-under's at 44.5. I think despite the conditions, I like the over there as well. Especially, I think Cincinnati has some garbage time points there in that game that makes it seem closer than it really is going to be. But yeah, I like Pittsburgh and the over. And
JC, give me a final score for the Pittsburgh Bengals game.
24-17. Pittsburgh barely covers. I think it's a pretty decent game. Weatherman report right now. I'm looking outside. It's a little drizzly in Pittsburgh. No wind as of yet. So hopefully maybe that takes us through the first half. But we'll see. Well,
everyone hates the Steelers, but they are 6-2 against the spread. Other teams I love against the spread. I think this might be the biggest shootout of the day. Buffalo at Arizona. Arizona's a 2.5-point favorite. Over under 56. I'm still loving the over. I'm not going to touch that one, but you guys know I'm going to be riding the Arizona Cardinals dick all the way. Cardinals cover and win late. How do you guys like this to go?
Yeah, no, I think people are forgetting that Buffalo before last week looked awful. I love Arizona to post the 3 points and to win there. That over-under is tough, though, at 55.5. If they're going to get the over, JC, who are some players you think that are going to help accelerate that?
So I do think this is an interesting matchup. I mean, from a DFS perspective, I think if you're going to play one of the two quarterbacks, it's Josh Allen. He's just a better buy. Stephon Diggs has been so consistent moving forward, but we saw last week with John Brown. Came back in the game. He was finally healthy, had a big game this way. I think they're paying a lot of attention to Stephon Diggs. So I think John Brown ends up having a pretty big day this week. An interesting matchup here. Buffalo, in terms of fantasy purposes, is the second worst matchup for tight ends. And Cardinals aren't a very good tight end team, but they got like a 6'7" guy out of University of Wisconsin-Platteville named Dan Arnold, who's big, he's athletic, and if you like a dart throw at tight end position today,
yeah, that's a deep cut there, man. That's a deep cut.
Take that one, and James does his research pretty in depth, and hopefully some of these receivers won't be stacking up pass interference yards for their totals, because I am playing some Cardinals receivers in some of my leagues. This game is going to be very huge for some of your players. I know, James. Philadelphia coming off of their bye, a 4.5-point favorite at the ugly Giants. Over under 44.5. I have to believe that this is a double-digit win for Philly. I think this one goes way over, and I think that one might be a lock.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over. I need it to be the over. I am playing a lot of players this week, and that's one of the team stacks I'm running. Because a lot of people be playing Jared Goff, but Carson Wentz is a little bit cheaper. I think he has a big week. I think Miles Sanders has a big week. And I like Jalen Rager at 4,200 to be a really nice high floor, high ceiling guy as well.
Yeah, everyone knows my feelings for overs, so I'm going to agree with you there, but I'm going to pull up my best Lee Corso, Marcus, and say not so fast, my friend, on a double-digit win for Philly. The Giants, despite their record, despite being what they are, they're actually 6-2 against the spread, and their last 4 games have lost by a combined 10 points. So I like the Giants to cover in this. I like the Eagles to win. I'm not. This isn't my upset special, but I do like the Giants getting 5 points here. So I see this being a 27-24, 28-24 game. Philadelphia just isn't that good, in my opinion. If you look at their DVOA, which we went into in our pod, if you listened to that a few days ago, Philly's a 28th best team according to that metric. They're not that good. So yeah, I like this game to be closer than what a lot of people think. So
Miles Sanders is going to have 30 some odd points. I think that if the value is there, he's missed so much time. I think he's a good start, but Evan Ingram has always been one of my favorites. Still underperforming. The targets are there, the drops are there, but against like you said, a bad Philly defense, expect some points out of him. Overs the play.
For sure.
We just talked about Buffalo being Buffalo being a cushy tight end playground. Philly's third, right behind. So I like Evan Ingram today too.
Mistake on the lake. Houston Texans are 4.5-point dogs going into Cleveland. Over under 45, and I know you said something about the over under has been radically dropping.
He was at 48.5 when I was doing preparation on Friday. That's dropped 3 points. I was confident with the over at 48.5. I love it. It is my ding, ding, ding lock of the week with Houston, Cleveland with that 45.5. And I also like Cleveland to spot those points at 4.5. So if you parlay those together, it comes out to about plus 250. The reason I like Cleveland getting the points is Houston is 1-7 against the spread, and Cleveland's coming off a bye. So I think both of those factors result in a lot of points and Cleveland covering, despite being the fucking Browns.
Well, hopefully Houston plays some bad defense against tight ends. Needs something out of Hooper. He's been a terrible letdown. Any good value plays here, JC?
In terms of Hooper, Harrison Bryant has kind of been an interesting guy in terms of like a really low end tight end play who's gotten like some early targets and has some trust with Baker Mayfield. It's going to be an interesting game. It's a really easy wide receiver matchup for Houston, even though the weather's going to be bad. I think that Deshaun Watson's going to have good today. I have him a lot in my lineups. And Duke Johnson is 5,000. If it is going to be ugly, little revenge game for Duke, I like it.
We got a very exciting game in Miami, which it's kind of nice to say that. And once again, I will keep praising Brian Flores, Coach of the Year candidate since last year, in my opinion. Chargers at Miami. I know this is a pretty historic game. 2 great rookie quarterbacks. So one great, one appearing to look pretty good. Miami's 2-point favorite. Chargers can never close. Over under 49. Truthfully, I like the under here, but I like the upset, boys. I think the Chargers finally find a way to close it out.
Yeah, man. One of us is going to have a good day at gambling, and one of us is going to have a bad day because I'm going to disagree with you there with the under. Looking into the stats a little bit there, those teams average almost 54 points combined, and the line's criminally low at 49. You mentioned, I think the 2 quarterbacks put up a lot of big plays. No surprise here. I'm a huge Herbert fan, just like everyone else. But he's a rookie, so I think we're going to see maybe a defensive touchdown from Miami. I think we see a couple huge plays by Herbert. I think there's going to be points aplenty in Miami.
JC, you got some plays for us?
Yeah, maybe. Tremaine Pope is elevated this week as well. He should get a little bit more opportunity to share. That backfield is just really interesting. I think Mike Gesicki has a pretty good week. I know Preston Williams is out. I just don't know how much they're going to be able to feed Devontae Parker. I think he kind of slides in the slot a little bit and gets a good amount of targets.
And,
So you do or don't like Devontae Parker? Because I'm starting him against Marcus today.
I mean, in terms of redraft, yeah, I think he's going to see an uptick in targets for sure, and he should have a decent week. But I think a lot of those targets are going to be ceded to Mike Gesicki as well. So don't sit Devontae Parker.
So, gentlemen, before we go on to our last game, it was roughly about this time last season where I made my bold statement that if Pittsburgh the following season can stay healthy, they're going to be the wild dark horse to make a Super Bowl run. Like, they're that talented. The Chargers need two things: get rid of Anthony Lynn and stay healthy. And that is a team that will be in this same position next year. Maybe not undefeated at this point, but everyone talking about Super Bowl bound, even with the Chiefs in contention.
Bold.
All right. Another high-scoring game of the week. We've got the Seahawks, who are supposed to be the best in the NFL, but can't play defense, against the Rams, coming off of a bye, right?
Yes.
Yeah, following an ugly game against Miami. Rams are 2.5-point favorites, over under 55. I am going to run. This one's going to be an under game. It's going to come really close, but this will go under. And the Rams are going to win this game. They're going to make the West a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I agree with the under there. I don't have a solid rationale behind that other than, the over has heavy money and everyone's expecting a shootout, which I think this is, kind of flips the script on that. I don't have a good feel for who wins this game. 2.5 is a brutal line. I almost took Seattle as my upset special, but I'm going to stay with you there, Marcus, and I'm taking the Rams money line.
It's kind of funny talking about one of the top two teams in a conference as the upset pick.
Right.
JC, I know you got some hot plays for us here.
I do. I don't know. Everyone's playing Jared Goff this week. The Seahawks are the best matchup for quarterbacks as well as the best matchup for wide receivers. I kind of stand off Jared Goff a little bit. I think that Cooper Kupp's still hurt, even though he just came off of a bye, which is really concerning to me. Robert Woods just isn't a big touchdown guy. I think he'll have a decent game, but I think Josh Reynolds, who played really well the past couple of weeks, he's got 9 targets in the last 2 weeks, 8-9 targets, has 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games. That's the play, I think, at wide receiver to really nice value there. I think it's going to be a close game. I still take Seahawks money line.
So you've had some deep tight end cuts. Do you like any of the Rams tight ends in this game?
Yeah, man, I missed that one. I do. I think just at his value play, Gerald Everett, 3,100, I think is a nice kind of dart throw. He's really deep.
So that's the reason I ask you is, again, as I mentioned again, I'm going against Marcus. I have Logan Thomas or Garrett Everett. So I think you just convinced me to go Gerald Everett over Logan Thomas today.
I'm playing them both, to be honest with you. But I think, I don't know, in terms of DFS, I do like Gerald Everett just because he's 3,100. He's really cheap.
Yeah.
You just destroyed 10 years of history. Good job, pal. So daily fantasy is taking over the world. Miles Sanders, Evan Ingram are players that I'm going to love today. I have to ride James Conner. I know he's going to be a little bit higher up in the prices. I know there's a big name wide receiver who's also got a big mouth and is very limited on his route tree, but you love him for his value over New Orleans. What's your reasoning with that, JC? Give us a little love.
So when you want to play a DFS player, you want to have a really high floor and a guy who has a high ceiling. I don't know that describes any play better than Michael Thomas, and he's only going for 7,400.
Slant boy.
Yeah, I don't care. Give him 20 targets, whatever. It's 11 slants.
All right.
Zone, it's 7,400. I just can't not play him.
And we got a question here for you, JC. Who should I play, Terry McLaurin or Travis Fulgham?
McLaurin.
There you go, Sean. McLaurin's the play today. Fulgham, I know he's a guy who's put up some big numbers occasionally, but I think with a more healthy, balanced team, Jalen Reagor getting some more plays and Miles Sanders being back, that ball gets moved out a lot and he won't be one of the top targets. Who is your stream of the week defensively? I know last week you took Baltimore and they took it to the house.
Ooh, stream of the week. So I've been pretty much just playing Green Bay everywhere in terms of daily fantasy. Give me a minute. Let me try to pull up some deeper ones for you guys.
Okay. Yeah, real quick, while he's looking that up, I want to give my upset special of the week. I almost took Seattle, but I'm going against primetime Kirk Cousins. 0-9 on Monday Night Football. The Bears are actually 5-4 against the spread. I like the Bears to win this game. They are plus money at plus 155. If you're looking to add a underdog into a parlay, take the Chicago Bears. Kirk can't win on Monday night, and Minnesota people are forgetting that the only way they can win is through the ground, and the Bears have a great rush defense. So expect Chicago to pull an upset Monday night.
All right, what's your deep stream there, JC?
I'm with you on Chicago, by the way. But I guess I'm going to go deep in terms of they're about 2,400. I'm going with Houston. We talked about it being an ugly game. Baker is turnover prone, so that leads to at least a decent floor that way, and hopefully, a touchdown in return, pick six, something like that.
Well, I'm going to talk about defensive touchdowns. Here it is. These boys are going to do it. It's going to be an ugly day for the rookie, as promising as he is. I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up, unless you guys have any final thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to kind of give my my parlay of the week here. I like Baltimore to absolutely crush New England. Looking at Baltimore, their offense is going to get rolling against a bottom 5 defense in the league. I think with CMC out, I think Tampa Bay bounces back huge. So I like Baltimore giving 7, Tampa Bay giving 5.5, and as you mentioned at the top, I love Pittsburgh giving 6.5. That pays out at about plus 650. I have that $20 bet turning into 150 by the end of the day today.
Wrap it up. Any last thoughts for us, JC?
Go Steelers. I don't know.
Go Steelers. Next week, we will be very live at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. So we will be streaming from the stadium. And if any of you guys are catching the game, look for the drunk idiots right by the pool. Statistics say we will end up in it. Good luck today.
Bet on the probability that Marcus and I end up in the pool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that one's minus 170. All right. Go Steelers. Have